What is up, everybody? Welcome to Talking Ball. It is Colin here, joined with the wonderful Miss Ellie, Queen Ellie Bentoncourt. What's up,
Yeah,
Ellie? How are you doing today?
yeah. I'm going under a new guise because I was getting so much abuse. And Drula, my niece, just texted me that Hoybier staying to the end. So to the end of the season, that is, not to the end of his life.
For
Right.
the rest of
So
forever, he's
you
Tottenham, just
imagine
like
how
the rest
much
of us.
more abuse I'm going to get until the end of the season. So I've switched
Ah,
allegiance to my favourite player. Everybody knows who knows me that Benton Core is my favourite player. I like Hoybier for different reasons, right?
yeah, he's that type of player you admire. You told me
Yeah,
about,
I admire him.
he's got kind
But
of an old schoolness about his play almost,
yeah,
like
yeah,
the players of yesteryear. Hard nosed, not afraid to go in for a tackle. Yeah, you
yeah.
like those qualities. Nothing wrong with that.
I
Nothing wrong
do
with that.
because he reminds me of my father. Not in looks or anything like that, but because my dad was hardworking.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he killed himself for the family. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's
man.
got a favourite player in the team, haven't they?
Exactly. And they don't always have to be the best. Eric Lamelo was my
No,
favorite player for a long time, and God knows he
I
wasn't
know.
amazing. He was just a proper shithouse and could get, could get things going. So yeah, I totally understand that. You are all good. No one here is going to make fun of you. Um, But speaking of people here, we've got people in the chat that I would like
Come
to
on
say
then.
hello to. Adrian
Yeah,
Stroka, the ever present
Adrian.
Adrian, wearing a robe, I'm sure. Adrian, we love you, buddy. Hope you're doing well.
I've actually
Ian,
been able to spell Adrian Stroker's name right now. So I'm
I'm proud
spelling
of
it wrong
you.
for a long while.
Oh, no worries. No, I'm sure he doesn't mind too much. But Ian Meth is also in the building. Ian, what is up? Hope you are well. World
Hello, Ian.
traveler, Ian. I don't know where you are at the moment, but thank you for being here. We truly appreciate it, my man. Talking beer.
Talking
Uh,
beer. Yeah.
yes, man. My guy says he hit the like on both channels, and he can't lie. It felt pretty damn good. So, guys, you heard the man. Try that out. This is a dual stream. This is concurrently running on both Talking Ball and Altel Cockerel. So, if you're on Talking Ball and you're watching, please head on over to this website right here. Altel
Talk around.
Cockerel. C-O-C-K.
I like the way the Americans say talk around.
Yeah, I got a little bit of an accent. It's nothing too bad. But guys, here is the link
You're
to El
funny,
Tel
Colin.
Cockerel. Please check it out. Thank you, Ellie. So please head on over to El Tel Cockerel. We need to get his numbers up. He is a great guy. He's obviously a big part of Talking Ball, but he has his own personal channel as well, and we want to get the subs up over there. So
Yeah.
big love there. Adrian says it's the gray robe today. Um, there we go. There we go. Now we know Adrian is in the gray robe today.
Which
Um,
my husband would say is blue because he's colourblind.
aha, yes, the blue robe, the blue robe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to welcome everybody in. We've got Drula, your wonderful niece, is in the
Yay.
house. Y'all call Auntie L and all the chatters. Yes,
Thank
big
you
love,
for the
Drula.
info, Drula, about
And then we got
Hoybier.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, she's our in the know today. And then we got Quez Ali in the house. What is up,
Where's Ali?
Quez? Quest says, though, good day all. With the Noosa situation behind us, but is it the age-old problem that we have? The club is too big for top young talent to prove themselves, but not big enough to attract proven talent. I'm going to star that. That's a good one. We'll come back to that a little bit. That's a
Yeah.
good talking point there. Um, yeah, Ellie. So we've welcomed everybody in. We've gotten that all business out of the way. I just wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about just how you're feeling. We all know that cup exit was bad, but have you shaken that off? Are you ready for the next challenge?
I wouldn't say I've shaken it off. What I would say is, when you get that numb feeling after a
Yeah,
loss. So I've sort of got that numb feeling, and it's like regrets because of the players that we were missing. Would it have been different,
yeah,
if our players actually turned up, apart from the defenders, the rest of the team really not let us down, but they let themselves down in a way because they can play much better than that, Colin. And
Definitely. Oh yeah.
leaves a little bit of a bitter taste in your mouth. But at least one thing we can hold on to, Colin, Arsenal are out as well.
Exactly. Exactly. At least they can't hold that over our
Yeah.
heads. Um, and I will tell you, I was afraid. I was afraid to get online and to get on social media and see all the posts. It wasn't as bad as I expected.
No.
But maybe I stayed on the nicer corners of the internet. Who knows? But look at this. We've got Kate, your cohort, Kate.
Come on, Kate.
Just a girl who loves Spurs. Reached that big 1,000 today. Big
Yay.
love,
Come
big
on.
up to Kate and just a girl who loves
1,000.
Spurs. The whole just a girl who loves Spurs family. Yeah.
And
And
very
yeah,
well deserved. Because
absolutely.
she worked so hard behind the scenes,
And she
getting
and
her
she
shows
just
all
and she
together.
just got started. I don't know. I'm really proud of you, Kate. Big love to
Yeah,
Kate
she's such a
and,
lovely lady as well.
and everybody in the Spurs
Love you,
family.
Kate.
We're all a big family here. Yeah, love you, Kate. Um, yeah, so you're saying it's just kind of numb now. You're just kind of over it. Have you gotten much stick from opposing fans?
Just a couple here and there, but not on so much Twitter because I think people are kinder to me on Twitter with Toy
Hey, hey, Ellie, I can hardly hear you. Or did you step further away from your microphone?
Is that better?
Much better. Yes.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, on Twitter, I think people are much kinder to women in general. I found that anyway. Because I've got two Twitter accounts. I've got my Spurs ladies one, everywhere we go. And I've got my men's one, which I don't get any abuse on, which is I know other people do, but I think I'll just keep it to Tottenham, and I don't get too over political with all the other stuff that's going on. I'll just try and keep it to the club things and nice things that are happening at the club, because
Yeah.
people respond to that much better. Yeah.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Ian was saying he couldn't hear you. We know, Ian. We got it fixed, my
Yeah,
guy.
you know what it
Yeah.
was? I put my hand over the microphone at the
Oh,
end.
that'll do it. That'll do it, Ellie.
Stupid.
But yeah, so
I have my stupid moments as well.
we all do it. We all do it, and the whole team did it the other day. They all.
Yeah.
I still don't know what the problem was there. Did we go out giving too much respect to Pep and to City, or did they have never scored at our stadium thing get inside people's heads? I don't know. It
Yeah,
was
do you know what? It nearly worked. That voodoo doll just let us down at the end, didn't it? 88th minute.
so
Yeah,
close,
and
so
they
close.
scored.
I
You know
would have
what?
loved to replay.
We didn't actually go tooth to tooth with them. I think that's
No,
the
not at
saying.
all.
But we were always on the periphery of the game, weren't we? We weren't
Ready to
really
spring
in the
forward, ready
game.
to bring a counterattack. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
like when you have I don't know if you've had an out of body experience, but I've had one in my life, right? And it's a
Yeah.
bit like that. You're out of body and you're thinking, come on, do something about it. And they
Yeah.
just weren't doing. The defence was trying, but they were pressing us so hard, Colin. It
They
was
beat
hard
us at our
for
own
them to get
game.
out.
Yeah.
They
They
worked
beat us
so
at our own
hard.
game. Yeah. It really was
Yeah.
not our best match, to say the least. I think that was the most outplayed we've been all season.
Yeah, I would
Would you
say
agree?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. And because they work so hard, they're so diligent, and they're very physical because they're big guys at the back. They've got big
Yeah.
guys in the middle, and they've got fairly big. Well, when they've got Haaland, they've got a massive guy. But Alvarez
Very
is
true.
not
Yeah.
that big. He's not that big. But as soon as De Bruyne came on, you knew things were going to tick
Oh man,
in a more positive way.
look in his eyes. He just looked
Yeah,
ready for war. And that little tussle
yeah.
he had on the sideline, I don't even remember who that was with, but do you remember he
I
had
think
like a
it was
little
with
tussle?
I think it was with Romero. Yeah,
Yeah.
because one of the tussles led to their corner that they got the goal.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
everybody was blaming Romero for it, but he had to put it out because if De Bruyne spins and gives it to Docker, or even spins and goes in on goal, you know that there's going to be 100% pass coming in, which normally leads to a goal. So yeah. We were just out, but we're beaten by the better side. We've got to hold
on
our
the
hand.
on the day,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, and I really, really, really was hoping for that replay. Was hoping that maybe we'd have Sonny back by chance, or maybe we'd have, could have been different, but
Yeah.
no real point ruminating too much on the past. We've got things to look forward to in our future.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, Ellie, one thing. So let's go back to the chat. First of all, big up to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys all for being here. Appreciate you guys big time. I'm gonna go back to Quez's comment here about the Noosa situation. Behind us. Do you think that he's got a point? Quez, with the we're too big of a club for top young talent because they know they won't get first team minutes, but we're not quite a big enough club to go out and get like the superstars. Do you think there's some truth there?
I'm in two minds, right? Because with our youngsters, I'll address that part first. With our youngsters, Ange wants to get top 4, right? At least this season to be successful in his eyes. He wants to make at least top 4, so we're challenging for the big trophy next season as well as the league, right? So if he thought those youngsters were ready, and I've heard a lot of people say this, wouldn't he play them if they were good enough? If they were ready, I'm sure he would play them, because Ange is all about what's going to be best for the team. Not best for him, but what's best for the club is to get top 4. And if he feels that they're not quite ready for either the challenge or the pressure that comes with that as well, But in terms of attracting players of an ilk, well, we've attracted one fantastic centre-half who's playing his football over at Plymouth now with Alfie Devine. So
absolutely, yeah.
I think it's Alfie Devine who's at Plymouth, isn't it? I think he's there.
Well, let me Google just to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like we can attract them, but it has to be at the right cost for the club and the right sort of player that Ange is excited about. So if he's identified Noosa, who we lost out on to Brentford, I believe, I think it's gone through now, but I haven't checked my phone today. I've been a bit promoting other things, but
we appreciate that too, by the way.
Yeah, if we've lost out, it's probably because he might they thought maybe Ange wants another target that's more experienced, and hopefully something to come out like a when we got Van der Vaart and it was completely left wing. I'm just praying that something like that's going to happen as well, because we need a finished article player to take us over that line, I think.
Agreed. Sonny can't do it all by himself. You know what I mean? No. We can't. And we do desperately, I think, need another attacking player. I'm wondering, though, I don't know, I have a bad feeling inside of me, Els, that we aren't going to see anything else in the way of transfers other than another defender. I think another defender could come in. I think
if it is, I would prefer it to be a striker or somebody who can solidify our midfield like a proper like a Rodri-esque player, someone who's big and physical and can win the ball back. Because however good Højbjerg is, he's lost his mojo a bit in terms of winning the ball. Because for the first season under Jose, he was fabulous at winning the ball. And I'm not one for stats, even though people think I am. I only bring them up when I have to, right? I'm more with the eye. I can notice, right, that all our defenders are not particularly fantastic at winning the ball. Our midfielders, are not particularly fantastic at winning the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Madders is creative. Gio is creative. He's not. He's physical, but he's not brilliant at winning the ball back because of his.
Sarr might be our. Sarr might be our best.
He's not like a Rodri, is he? Rodri goes in, he wins the ball.
No kidding. Yeah, you don't want to. I don't want to go up against that guy in the tackle.
He's
you can have it, Rodri. It's all you, bud. Like I don't even want a piece of that. Yeah.
Yeah, someone of that ilk, who's really strong and powerful and can command the midfield and spray balls and keep it simple, but spray balls to set us going from midfield. Sar's really good. He's strong, but he's not the finished article yet. He's still learning the game.
Yeah, absolutely. But I would think out of all the players that we have, he might be our best, which is kind of crazy to say because he's so young and so slight. But I think he might be one of our best ball-winning midfielders. You know,
I'd like to look at the stats, but I tried not to look at them. I tried because when you do, you get into a pickle.
Right. You can kind of get a distorted.
You
can get kind of a distorted view, and you know sometimes the stats don't, like you said, reflect what's actually happening. For instance, you know, players that like kind of, I don't want to say stat pad, but with a lot of easy passes, and so their passing percentage looks great, for example. I mean, yeah, stats definitely can be misleading. Dirty Sanchez is in the house, though. What is up, Dirty Sanchez? Hey, hey. And look at this, possibly my favorite person ever. It's my mom.
Julie.
What's up, mama? How are you? Hope you're doing good at work today.
You know, there's a character in England, Colin, called Ali G, and he goes, "She's my Julie."
That's awesome. Yes, I'm gonna have to channel my inner Ali G.
You know him as Borat, I think.
So yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen, that guy. He's too funny. Yeah, he's a good man. Good, funny
he's
funny guy.
He's big in America as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I didn't know that he started. Yeah, exactly. He has gotten big over here. I'm going to get. I'll probably clip that. I want to get a clip of him saying that. So anytime my mom pops in, I can just
very
have
good
the clip
idea.
ready to go. Yeah.
I don't know if you'll get copyrighted though.
We'll find out. Find out
and see what you can do.
Yeah, you can get away with like one little one.
Or maybe you can do Jose saying it.
There you go. That's perfect. That's actually an even better idea. In terms of transfers, so Pierre is staying. I have seen that link too now officially. So that is great. Maybe that means he's got his head back in the right place. Maybe he's got his head back straight. You know, if he's decided to reject offers and stay, that has to mean hopefully that he's you know made peace with the idea. He's no longer going to be. You know, you could tell looking at his face. The man was just not interested. He was out of it. He was somewhere else. He was, you know, he wasn't committed. But hopefully, by you know, with this news of him staying till the end of the season,
I've noticed he's lost a bit of his mojo. But you know what? It's going to upset a lot of people who don't like him. But all the people
let him go. Let him have it.
Yeah, they'll let him have it. If he makes one bad pass or he trips over the ball, they're going to just say he's shit. Or he's something else even worse than SHIT, right? But look, nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes, right? Whether he was offered deals or whether they do want him to go or whether they do want him to stay. Because at the moment, we've got a pickle, haven't we? And we need our players regardless because we've got Basuma and Sarr over at AFCON. We've got Sonny playing in the Asia Cup. And then we've got injuries in the midfield. And then Madders is not fit. Yeah, you could see it against Man City. He could hardly run.
Yeah,
you know, so we have to have backup midfielders, and if he has to be on the bench, and they give Skip the nod this time, because you know he might think he didn't have a particularly good game against Man City, right? He might give Skip. So at least we've got bodies who are.
That's good. Yeah. Very true. But who knows? I mean, I think with Højbjerg, it might have been an issue of another team having even come in and bid for him and him knowing that if he got any kind of an injury, that move was off. You know what I mean? And so that'll make you hold back a lot. That'll make you hold back a lot in your play. You know,
what I don't agree with is saying that he's a championship player. That's not right.
No, absolutely not. No way. No.
Like a lot of people really put him down. They put him down so badly. It's not fair. But
people are really emotional. Yeah, let's move on. So I just wanted to say we were talking about transfers, and Ian brings up a good point that there are a lot of clubs who have to sell by Thursday night to meet the sustainability rules. So that could mean that there are deals opening up for us, room for Levy to make those, you know, those last minute surprise buys that he likes to make. So that is a good point by Ian.
We're known for it, aren't we?
A little bit, not so much in recent years. But for a while there, yeah, absolutely, man. him and Harry Redknapp were quite the duo of
Yeah.
grabbing
I
people
love
and
Harry
transferring them.
Redknapp.
I love them, man. We got a bunch of people saying hi in the chat. But yeah, that's a good idea or a good point made by Ian there. Do you think there's any? This is a silly question, but Conor Gallagher. Do you think there's any substance to that? Do you think that there's any way?
I can't see him leaving, Colin, because
He doesn't. Yeah, he's the captain. He's captain of that team multiple times this season.
He's been an ever present, right? And also they've made the League Cup final. You may imagine if he leaves and he's the captain, he's not even going to get to lead out his club in who all his family support Chelsea. They're all avid Chelsea fans. He's not going to leave.
No.
If they force him out, that's different. Like if they force him out and say, "Look, you've got to leave because of FFP rules. We've got to tell you." That's different. But for him personally, I don't see him wanting to move. That's his boyhood club. That's who he supported.
Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. I don't think he's going to leave either, and especially for the price that they've wanted from him. I don't think that it's going to happen. But who knows?
He's my type of player as well. I like him.
I like him too. I like him since his
opinion.
Oh, really? I think that he's shown that he was great ever since his time at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, but like I watch all the WhatsApp groups and Twitter and them. He divides the fans. Some think he's really fantastic, best midfielder we could buy, or who's currently available, better than Calvin Phillips I've seen. But other people say, he's trash. He's no good. Even Chelsea fans take him off us.
Wow. Well, I mean, he's one of those players that I don't know exactly what his position is, if I could tell you that. You know what I mean? Like he's almost like a Skip to me in that he's decent enough at all things, but I don't think that there's one thing that he necessarily excels at. He's not a destroyer type midfielder. You know what I mean? He's not a playmaker. I guess box to box would probably be his best role. Something kind of similar to like, I know it didn't work out, but Paulinho, you know what I mean? A player like that who can kind of, do some ball carrying.
He's a dog's body type player. His job is to win the ball back, carry it forward, and pass it to the more technical players. But he has got technical ability, right?
And a decent shot on him as well.
Yeah, he's got a decent shot on him. There's lots of things about his game that are really good. Obviously, he's not the complete midfielder, but he's quite young as well. I think he's 23. I think, if I'm right. Yeah, so he's still
young.
Learning the game.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Ben Kaufman has also joined us, everybody. Afternoon, everyone. He says the infamous Modfather is here to remind you to like and sub. Thank you, Benny. Yeah. I appreciate you, my man. Good dude. Everybody, Ben's channel, the coffee company. I'll throw the link up to that too. Or Ben, you could do it yourself, but everybody make sure you've also headed over there to like and subscribe. Quez, no problem, bro. Any other questions? Just throw them in. That's what we're here for. There was another question that I starred.
Okay.
But it's Hoiberg related, so let's skip it. Let's skip that. I wanted to ask another thing. So you were saying that you would like to see a striker brought in. Have there been any names, or do you have any players on your radar who you think that you would like to see come in? I honestly, Ellie, I think with Werner in here, I think that we're done with attacking players. I hope I'm wrong.
The thing is, he plays in Sonny's position, doesn't he? So I think he's been brought up because Sonny was going to be away, and then when Sonny comes back, I don't think they're going to
straight to the bench.
The only way he's going to get the Richie's place is if Richie stops scoring. He didn't look great against City. He didn't look great against City. No, or they could make him like a number 10. Yeah, and while Madders is still getting
it's not a bad idea. Back. Yeah, but, even play him in that Dele like shadow striker type role. Yeah,
just behind the striker, they could do that and still keep Richie in the team. and then play Madders and Kulu, and then possibly drop BJ on the other side because he hasn't been performing. You
Yeah,
know,
he needs to become a sub for sure. I
there's
think that
lots
he
of
needs some
options
sub
basically.
appearances.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
do you know what? I like that Jimenez. At I think he plays for Feyenoord, if I'm right.
I think you're correct. Yeah, definitely
Yeah,
over
I
in
like
the
him
yeah.
because he scores all sorts of goals, like bangers, box in the box type goals, headers. You know, he's got a lot going for him, and I just think we need somebody else who can add. I don't know if you heard Adrian. He made a really good point. He said that teams have to score at least 87 to 88 goals to win the league. Right?
Hmm. Yeah,
In the last 5 or 10 years, that's been the case. So we need somebody. If we're not going to get up to those heights, we need somebody to take us up to those heights because we're not guaranteed for the rest of the team to chip in goals. We're not going. Whereas with a striker who's clinical, you know you're going to get at least 15 by the end of the season. You will because they're clinical strikers, and Sonny will chip in with lots more. So we might even get to that echelon, but let's see what happens. We can
yeah.
only hope. We can only hope that the club have got designs on
Some
players that
things.
they think we need.
Absolutely. I'm actually just looking at some rumors here, and I'm seeing that there are Tottenham have made it clear their admiration for Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey.
Yeah, very
Um,
good player.
but it looks like offers would have to be above £50 million
Yeah.
to be contemplated by Villa. So Ellie, you know more about the man than I do. Is that worth it?
Yeah, what
Is
we
that?
do, he's a very good player, Colin. I've watched a lot of him. Very
Mhm.
technical, very fast. He can dribble past players like they're not there. Very good in the box as well. He finds pockets of space, makes himself available to score. Which I like in a player. He doesn't hide. Yeah,
That is
so
good. Yes,
he'll be a
yes,
very good
absolutely.
acquisition to our attack, and maybe then we send Brennan Johnson back to the Midlands.
Hey,
Sorry, Brennan. I just
I was gonna
haven't
say
taken
I'm
to
not
him.
ready to give up on him yet, but
I'm not going to give up on him, but I haven't taken to him because I can't see. I can see little bits, snippets here and there, but I can't see a complete player who's physical enough to hold the ball.
mhm.
And when he's running, he makes some wrong decisions. But having said, he scored one goal and assisted two, so it's not that bad. But I just want to see more from him, and I want him to get a
Maybe we
bit
will.
more physical in the gym so that he can hold the ball up better for us. Because
Well,
when
hey,
Cooper's on that side, he
we've
holds
got
it up
world
so
class
well.
training facilities, world
Yeah,
class
we
training
have.
facilities.
And I
So
look at him and I look at Porro, and Porro's legs are so defined, like muscular. He's like, "Rrr." And then you look at Johnson and he looks like a boy. He hasn't got no muscle. He just doesn't look physical enough. He's like Brian Hill, but taller.
yeah, I see that. Sort of similar to Delhi when he came in, just in like stature
Yeah.
and body
But
size and stuff like that.
Delhi had good legs, He
Yeah,
had really
and he also
defined
had more
legs.
fight. He had more fight in him, I think, too. A lot of it's
Yeah.
up here, Ellie. Even if you're not the strongest or the most physical, if you believe you're going to come out with that ball, it makes a difference. Um,
Yeah. It's like you look at top players in the world, Colin, right? Like Messi, right? He's little, but he's powerful. Yeah,
True.
he
Yeah.
can take a tackle.
Big old legs on that man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
massive legs. Modric the same. Yeah, he's little, but he's got very good solid legs, very good upper body strength as well. Even though he looks quite slight, he's got good muscle definition, but his legs are really good. And that's where you get the power from. When you're trying to hold the ball up, it's a lot of different things. But if you've got really good legs, because I've got really strong legs and people couldn't get the ball off me. Dembele, another one. Rodri, another one. You never get the ball because they are so powerful on the ball. You can't get the ball off them. I don't
Yeah.
see that with Bren Johnson.
No, but there's still time. There's still
He's
time.
got a skill
He's still
set,
a
don't
young
get me
man.
wrong. He has got a skill set and his pace is an acquisition as well, but he's just got to use it in the right way and just build himself up a little bit. He's
Yeah.
22, so he's already a man, isn't he?
Yeah, but that was about the time that I mean, or maybe later when Bale kicked on and he got
Yeah.
muscular, and you know what I mean. So I know that we can't use Gareth Bale as like a measuring stick for players because he's absolutely one of a kind. You know, like brilliant player, top 5 players I've probably ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Um, and so
What
you
a
can't use
player.
him as a measuring stick exactly, but it just
Yeah.
shows that it's possible. And Sonny, I always point this out. Sonny didn't have a first great season here.
Yeah, he
You
was a
know,
bit more on the slimmer side, and then he built himself up a bit more. But
yep.
Bell was like, he was something else, wasn't he?
Oh man, yeah, he sure was. He sure was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens to that. But Ben points out that if Gallagher joins us, he instantly becomes Chelsea's Judas. That
I
could be a
know.
disaster. Yeah, for him and for us. The last thing we need is them to be even more up for matches against us.
Yeah.
There's already quite the rivalry there. So yeah, that's a good point, Ben. A good point. Mom asking, when does Sonny come home? I miss him. Yeah, we all do. I mean, it just depends on how far he progresses into the tournament, of course. And I think if Adrian's still watching, he can probably let us know when that tournament is over, when it ends, because I don't quite remember it. I mean, I'm being
I
lazy.
can't think of a Chelsea player apart from the young boy who came uh, soon's up or something
Soon
like that.
Bell. Yeah, yeah,
Jude soon's up Bell, yeah, and he went straight into our under 21s
yeah.
or
We've got
yeah,
some exciting young kids, and we've even got some exciting players out on loan. Well, I mean, exciting, I
yeah.
guess, is
But I can't
but.
think of one that we've bought apart from William Gallas.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back in the day, we got Jimmy Greaves from them, but we haven't had that many transfers between our clubs. It's
Yeah.
all that hatred is. I think it stirs the pot when it comes to letting your players go.
I think a
Just
lot of that though was Abramovich and Levy not getting
yeah,
on, and now that Roman is out of the picture, maybe they'll be more apt to do business with us. Todd Bowley seems kind of like an adult. I don't think he cares. You know what I mean? I don't know if he even understands the rivalry, being American and seemingly dumb. So
well,
yeah,
I
who
wouldn't say
knows?
that. I would say like probably he's not in touch with a lot of different things that go on because
Yeah,
he hasn't been in
naive.
football very long, has he? So
Right, exactly.
he'll
He's
soon
sure spending the
learn.
money though. Shoo, money
Yeah,
is being spent by Todd. That is for sure.
I know.
Julie, my mom, of course, to
Mm.
everyone who doesn't know, saying Richie was running his socks off against City, just didn't have any finishing. He just didn't get much of the ball.
No.
And she also follows up with, we need more training with Timo, with the squad. They were totally playing disconnected, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that we've really been touching on. Ellie, I'm sure you saw all of those runs he was making up the left that just went crying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just didn't get the ball, and Benches runs perfectly, stayed on side.
Yeah. And
Couldn't get
he
past.
got. I think he got a bit frustrated because he was coming into the middle a lot to pick up the ball, and they were passing it to him in the middle. And he's quite a long way from goal, and we all know that Richie is not particularly brilliant at back to goal and running and
No.
turning and running at the players. He's got pace, don't get me wrong, but he's not lightning. Plus, his general dribbling is not like a Lucas Moura dribbling. All right,
Right.
Lucas Moura didn't always have end product, but he was a very good
No, but
dribbler
he
of the
could
ball.
he beat the first two players
Yeah,
before the third one
he's
got him. You know what I
yeah,
mean? He could
he's
definitely
a
beat him,
very
man.
good dribbler, Lucas Moura, whereas Richie hasn't got that part of his game. But what he is good at is the box in the box. And what I was very disappointed, we only got two corners, right, and both were wasted. And it's normally Porro puts them on the money for him, or either
Hmm.
Romero. And we didn't really. The free kicks that we had, we wasted them as well. You know, there was one free
Yeah.
kick that I was screaming at the TV because Hoybier took it and he passed it back, and I thought, what? We're 1-0, not we were 0-0 then, but we're 0-0. Go for it, man.
The players were definitely playing for a replay. You could tell. You know what I mean? To
Really?
me, it looked like
Oh,
they had battened down the hatches. They were, you know what I mean? They were ready
yeah.
to huddle in
Yeah,
and
later on
just
in the match, but we didn't really create anything to make us get a goal, did we? The only
no,
chance
yeah,
we had was the one we gave to BJ, and he took one touch too many, and he couldn't lift it over the
And I mean,
goalie.
and hey, I think we give him a lot of shit for that, but that happens. You know what I mean? Even very experienced
Of
players will
course.
do that from time to time. You know,
You know what it
I think
is, right? You get headlights like a rabbit with headlights in front of him. You get so excited, and because he's so eager to make an impression, he just took that one touch. Whereas if he'd relaxed, if it say he'd got about 4 or 5 goals already, yeah, he
yeah,
would have scored that because he would have had the confidence. Yeah,
absolutely took it around the keeper. Even if he was going to take that
yeah,
extra touch, he might as well just try to take it around the keeper, in my opinion. But
yeah,
obviously, hindsight's
true.
2020. We weren't there. Blood was pumping. But Ben saying that he wants
Yeah,
Brennan Johnson to play more like a winger. He needs to take his man on.
yeah.
And absolutely, absolutely. He could
Like
if
Neto
Lucas Moura
does.
could come back. If Lucas Moura could come back and put on a dribbling conference or a dribbling practice for Brennan Johnson, hell, we might have a player there.
Do you know
Um,
what? He should do a Ricky Villa, right? Because Ricky Villa said that he used to weave inside the trees, in and out of the trees, and that's all he was doing. I heard him say it, and it was so funny. Even Steve
hey,
Perriman reiterated the story.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
You
Whatever it
just got to
takes.
practice your dribbling in the cones because you get quicker. 'Cause he's got the
Definitely.
pace as well. So once he's got past his man, the guy normally doesn't catch him unless he's Carl Walker. Then you've got a
Right.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's a whole other story there. Kyle
Yeah,
Walker, man. What a
he's like a
physical
speed
specimen he
merchant.
is. Yeah, he truly is. Um, but yeah, Ian is agreeing with Mom, saying there were too many times that Timo was making runs that just were not
Yeah,
found out. Weren't
yeah,
no
that
one no
that
one
was a
fed him
big
the
one.
ball. No one found
That
him.
was a big one on TV. I don't know on American TV where you was watching it, but on TV they had Ian Wright, Robbie Keane, and sorry, Ian Wright, Roy Keane, and Jermaine Defoe in the studio,
Hmm.
and they pointed out. But we all saw that Werner was doing some terrific runs, and we were backtracking on ourselves or just passing it back, and not like Hulu was the biggest culprit of that because he
Which
was
is weird for
getting the
him.
ball on
Yeah,
the left, and then he was just turning, but away from goal. And you think, turn and look up and see what's on.
no kidding. Especially with the
Pass it for
strength,
God's
especially with
sake.
the strength that he has. You know what I mean? The fact
Yeah,
that he can hold the ball up so well. I don't know. It was definitely definitely a
yeah,
strange one. But
yeah.
here comes Adrian with exactly what I was looking for. Uh, we may bring a young player, and then he just has tons of players listed here. Oh, I can't even pronounce it. Sanis Idumbo Zambo from
Yeah,
Ajax.
that was his name.
That Rooney fella from Copenhagen, which I've heard more rumors about that popping up again. Adrian, he was seen in London not too long ago. We
They
got
knocked
Sydney.
out Man United, didn't they, out of the Champions League,
Yeah,
Copenhagen?
that's awesome. I can't
Guess
I
who
can't
else
get
is
enough
from
of that.
Copenhagen?
Who's that?
Højbjerg.
For
He
real?
was
There
born
you
there.
go. That's
Yeah,
awesome. I
that
like
was
it.
his
Like
first club.
I think Højbjerg still has time this season to go back to the player he used to be, who was at least reliable, and
Well,
he made those two mistakes in the City match, and I think they just completely screwed him up in the head, man.
yeah.
You know.
Put it this way, he
Um,
was at Bayern Munich at 16, so he must have had
exactly.
something.
Pep Guardiola loved him.
Yeah,
Saw him as the heir to. I don't know if I'm trying to think of. Might have been, I don't know, Schweinsteiger. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, he
maybe.
he
Yeah,
he was definitely thought very highly of by Pep Guardiola, who we know, especially from the match the other day, he's no fool. So um,
yeah.
Ben says that Brendan needs to drop the mommy's boy motif. He needs to be an athlete. I don't know much about that. Does he cry a lot? I don't know. Does he complain about
I
calls?
don't know because
I'm not
he's
sure.
got a baby face. He's got a baby face, isn't he?
Yeah,
He plays. When you see his face, he's got all the stress in his face. You can
he wears
see
it
it.
all right there. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't hide
Yeah,
it.
you can tell that he's feeling the pressure. Um, but I don't know. I just feel
I
he
think that
needs
he
to
could.
bulk
He
up a
needs to be
little
more of
bit.
a shithouse. I think if we just get him more of a shithouse, kind of riling up the opposing defenders, I
I
think
think
that could
he's
be
a
good for his game.
nicey boy, like Ben said. I don't think
Yeah,
that might come later on in years as he gets older, but at the moment he looks very young as well. He looks like a little boy in his face. He's got very youthful looks, but he just looks like he's got the world on his shoulders, and his face is like it's like he's constipated when he plays. He's got that grimness on his face. I feel sorry for him in a way because it is, when you come to a new club and you want to make a good impression, and
yeah,
you've really not hit the ground running, you're playing catch up, aren't you? But at least the manager is giving him a chance, So he must see something in training. And I heard Ange Postecoglou said he's one of the best trainers in the
I
club.
believe it. I believe
Yeah,
it.
because he
Yeah.
wants to make a good impression. His dad
And
was a striker for
no, I didn't know that.
yeah, played for Nottingham Forest, Ipswich Town, I think he played for.
Whoa! So the whole Forest, him playing at Forest, was kind of
Yeah,
that's
yeah. And
neat.
his dad was in the crowd that day when he got injured. 'Cause
Oh,
his head was cut
nice.
open, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I
that's
just hope he does come good. We're going to give him a chance anyway,
definitely.
regardless.
And the manager wanted him. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. And that's part of this whole what I wanted to talk about in today's episode. We're 40 minutes in, and I haven't even really gotten to the main point. But I've seen so many people. Let me put a banner up here. But I've seen so many people questioning Postecoglou.
yeah. Not
And I
me.
don't, me neither. And I don't think that that's necessarily what we need to be doing right now. It I don't know. I just see
I
a
don't
lot
get it.
of shit being thrown his way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean about him not being ready for this job, about his career. All I see with this man, and I'll ask everybody in the chat what their opinion is, but is a guy who is a serial winner. He is just as much a serial winner as as Mourinho, as Conte. Just because he was playing in different leagues, it's like a player. You can only play the team that lines up in front of you. You
yeah,
can. He was a manager. Those were the leagues he was in. All he could do was win those leagues. He can't win a Premier League by playing in the. You know what I mean? In
yeah,
the Scottish Premier League. He can't. It's just not. That's not a thing. You can't do that. I don't know. So I just feel like as a guy who has won everywhere that he's been, has a clear philosophy, has a good record with transfers. I don't know what before the season. I guess let's put it this way: before the season, everybody would have been happy with where we are right now. I think it was that really, really phenomenal start we had to the season that got people's expectations just like way too big,
yeah,
and yeah, because realistically, if you take just a step or two back and you look at things, everything looks great.
yeah.
Um,
I know, Colin, right? So he comes in, right? He wins 8 games and draws 2. He gets 3 Manager of the Month award, and then that
mhm.
Chelsea game happened, and not our entire season comes unstuck, but it affected us really badly because we lost Shidogi, we lost Romero, we lost Madison, we lost VDV, right? And then Basuma starts going off on one, doing silly things and getting sent off twice, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the core of your team. That's the core of your team. And the most vital players, Madison and VDV and Basuma, because Basuma drives us forward, Madden's the creativity, and VDV stops so many goals going in from his speed and dangerous attacks from his just from his speed and his fantastic defending and his awareness. And
yeah,
because Romero, he gets affected as well because he hasn't got his partner and he's having to play with lesser players. So he's doing silly things as well. So we lose Romero, right? And we're still fifth, 3 points behind Arsenal, who are supposed to be title contenders, and only 3 points
exactly.
behind Aston Villa, who everybody's raving about. Right, but don't count this man out because he knows how to get a team over the line, right? And I'm not saying when we get all our players back, we're gonna, be the best team, right? Because we know Manchester City have got a better squad than us, regardless of if we get our players back. But if we do have our first 11, we've got a fighting chance. And Ange Postecoglou, right? I just don't get it how he can get so much criticism when he's brought back a style of football that everybody's got on board with, more or less. There are
Hmm.
people who still criticise it, I must admit, but most people, they like it. And when I'm at the stadium, there's a new optimism inside the stadium rather than playing defensively, we're playing offensively. But not only that, it will bring success because he knows how to win, right? He knows what type of players fit his system. It takes time. You can't. He's been here what 6, 7 months, right? And we're already fifth. So that's 3 more places higher than we were last season. We're only three
Absolutely.
points behind, 8 points behind Liverpool. I know it seems a lot now, but it could soon dwindle because we were 9 behind Arsenal. Now we're only 3. So we cut 6 back. If
Exactly.
we could do the same with Liverpool,
And
if they
Liverpool have
drop a
just
couple of
announced their
games,
manager's leaving. I mean, so who knows what kind of run they're
yeah,
going to go on? Who knows? Who knows how their form will be affected by that
Liverpool
news?
favourites. We Liverpool, Man City are favourites. We know this already because
Yeah.
of their squad, right? But
Hmm.
if they fall up, trip up once, trip up twice, we're back in it seriously, right? And then
Putting
if we
pressure. There's
see,
yeah, exactly. They see us in the rearview mirror coming up right behind them.
yeah,
Exactly.
and then we've got to win. We can't draw games. We've got to win our games,
Yeah.
right? So we're going to have all the top dogs back. Our first 11. I'm not telling a lie here. We can beat any team. We can beat
Agreed.
any team. You put any team in front of us, even Man City, we could give them a game because there's certain things in our team, the characteristics of our team that are really like watching. You see, when we played Arsenal in that second half, when we played Man City in the second half as well. All right, we didn't have our best 11, but we had a few back. So we're just I just feel that we can push on, and I just hope the other teams slip up because that's what we need them to do. We can't do it all alone, but if we win our matches and they slip up, we'll be up there, Colin. I just
100%.
hope that happens. And
Same.
lay off Ange, man, because it's his first season and he's trying to build a team in within his philosophy.
And we
It
all know
takes
that these
time.
players have had a shit mentality for years and years and years now.
Yeah,
And it's going to take time for him to break that down and build the players back up kind of in his image and in this team in his image, the way that he wants it to be. It's not going to happen overnight. Um,
yeah,
so, yeah, everybody just give the man some time. Jesus Christ, a season at least. How long did Arsenal have to trust the process? All the fans have to trust in Arteta's dumb bullshit before it finally started to kind of work out. We're already seeing
yeah,
improvement already. So I just think that um, everyone
yeah.
might just be a little bit
With
you
Arsenal,
know
there's rumours, yeah. I keep on seeing rumours that he's been given a contract.
yeah
Or that's not a rumour. I think that's a fact that he's been given a contract. Then there's a rumour going around that he wants to leave at the end of the season. But how can that be true? If he's been offered the contract, why would he leave at the end of the season?
I guess it depends on what jobs are becoming available. Is it a case that he thinks he's got another job lined up? Do you think, or
He won't be
because
offered
I
a
know
job. That's one thing for sure.
there's a lot of shakeup going on with the managerial spots right now. Barcelona with Xavi just announcing that he's leaving. Klopp, announcing that he's leaving. Yeah, it's a wild time right now, and who knows what kind of shuffling we're going to see. I definitely think we're going to see Klopp at Barcelona. I really do. I really think that we'll
What
see
later
Jurgen
on?
Klopp
You reckon?
next season. Next season, Ellie. I really do. He said in his interview, he made it very, very clear, made a really strong point to say, I won't be managing another English club
Yeah,
ever. And I think that leaves the door open for him, obviously, to go to other leagues. And with this Barcelona job, I think Xavi announced his departure the day after or the same day as Jurgen.
yeah. That's
You know what I
quite
mean? So
poignant, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
there might be something there. There might not be, of course, but real
No,
quick,
I
Adrian
reckon that
says
is
that
the one. That is the
yeah,
one. But I
and
don't know
Jurgen
if
Klopp at
Klopp will take
Barcelona
a
might be
whole year
sweet.
off. He said he might take a whole year off. And then
Yeah,
me and
yeah.
Kate were joking that he's going to put his lederhosen on.
Oh my God, yes. He just sit around just drinking beers all
Yeah,
day, just enjoying Germany and what Germany has to offer.
he
Ah,
does an
but
advert for beer already,
Germany kind
doesn't
of
he?
sucks. I don't like Germany very much. It's not my
Oh, you
favorite
don't
country
like?
to visit.
I've only been there once when I was a
I,
teenager, and
it's
I
fine.
can
The
remember
people
it.
there
But I
just
was
aren't
only
very
12.
friendly.
No, I was 13. Sorry, I was 13. Because
Yeah,
I remember I was 2 years into the secondary school, and I like the pastries. I remember the pastries are lovely.
food's good. Beer's
Yeah.
good, but the people just weren't friendly. Maybe I was just in a bad area, or my American like over niceness might have thrown people off. They were like, "Wait, who the hell is this guy? Like, calm
Yeah.
down, buddy." But Adrian says the AFCON and Asian Cup finish the February the 12th after we play Brentford, Everton, and Brighton. That
Yeah.
shouldn't be too much for us to handle. I don't think. Brentford obviously always dangerous. Everton seemed to be a little bit renewed. Words are hard after their points
Yeah.
deduction, and Brighton are a good team too. But I think they're teams that we should be getting points from.
The team that we
So
beat was Everton 2-1, and we were very lucky to win that game because that was a
yeah,
very tough game. And Brentford we drew first game of the season, and Brighton
yep,
we lost 4-2, didn't we?
yeah.
I think that was
So
our worst game. I think because even though we
I'd
played
I'd
badly
put that
against
I'd put
Wolves,
that out of my mind. Yeah, I
yeah,
completely put that out. I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
game.
That did happen. Um, but we got Leo in the house. Smile High
Oh,
Hotspur. Big
Leo.
up, Leo and Audio Artisan. Big up to both of you guys. Thank you so much for your continued support on the channel. Um,
I
Leo
love
says that
that
he's got
song.
the flu and it's whooping his butt. He just got home
Oh
pumped full of
no.
antibiotics and medicine. Well, Leo,
Oh
bro,
no.
here's hoping that you feel better soon, my man.
Yeah.
That you feel better
Well,
soon.
I got over COVID, so I know what he's going through. Because
Yeah,
sometimes you
yeah,
think it's a cold and it might be COVID. I
yeah.
thought mine
Oh
was a
yeah.
cold, but I did the
I've been
test
I've
and
been
I did
sick.
have it.
I've been sick for about a week. I've just been making sure not to really leave the house, and you know what I mean,
Yeah.
just in case. I
I
haven't
can
tested.
tell round your eyes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
my nose is all
It gets
stuffed up.
bunged
It's a
up,
little
isn't
bit.
it? And it goes into the eyes as well.
Oh yeah, my
Horrible.
ear. I had a horrible I thought something was wrong the other day. I was so dizzy, but I figured out it was just like fluid in my ears.
I know.
But
My daughter's friend was round earlier and she said she had a really bad ear infection and it was killing her. And she said
yeah,
it was worse than toothache, which must
it's
be
similar.
bad.
Yeah, it definitely is similar. It runs up your yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I've never
Hopefully
had an ear
everybody's
infection, funny
in,
enough.
in your
I
whole
don't,
life.
no, in my whole life I haven't had
Wow,
any problem with my ears.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm lucky in that
well,
respect, but other
you
things
are,
I've had ache.
but not yeah, not so
The
much
whole
in
of the
other
rest of my
things.
body aches.
Right. Yeah. And you got to be careful when you're cooking those steaks, Ellie. That's one thing.
Oh no, man.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
you've learned your lesson. We were talking about Kyle Walker earlier, though. Mom says Kyle Walker is a douche.
He's
So
a douche.
he
Yeah,
is a little bit. Um,
he's been a
Audio
naughty boy.
Artisan for whoever is sick, saying that hot rum and honey is his trick. So Audio Artisan, big up.
Yeah, that's called a hot toddy, I think. Or
Oh
maybe a
yeah,
hot toddy's with whiskey.
I think you're right. I think it is
But with,
whiskey,
I
but
think it's with Irish whiskey. You're supposed to have it.
sounds awesome. I'm drinking a hot tea right now. You guys have got me. I'm on the tea train now,
I
so
think a
all of
hot
you
toddy might
Englanders have
be
got me.
Romero. That's what a hot toddy
There you go. There you
is.
go. I like that. I like that. If you guys can see my mug too, I have
Yeah.
an awesome Spurs
Oh, that is
UEFA
a nice
Champions League mug.
one.
But look at this. This was a terrible year. It was the year that we went out like in the group stages. Um,
Yeah.
it was a bad one. That was a bad year.
But
Got the
now,
mug very cheap though. So
now I'm Queen Ellie Bentancur. You know his song is "He's the Reason We're Going Champions League next season." His name is Bentancur. You see, so I'm
that's
hoping.
an awesome song. Yeah, I had never heard
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, they sing it at White Hart Lane as well. I always call it White Hart Lane. I don't call it that other thing.
Yeah, it's hard not to just call it White Hart Lane.
Yeah,
Um, David Clark, big up David from Leicester, says
yeah. Go on, David.
best runs all night were made by Werner, but no Spurs player had the vision and ability to find him. Udogie was shocking the number of times he had the ball, but not only failed to even look for Werner. Yeah, I
Oh
thought I didn't think
no.
you doggy had that bad of a match, but you're right that nobody was able to find Werner. And
Yeah.
you're right. You can see the frustration on his face. You can only make so many gut busting runs until you're like, okay, what the hell? Like
He
what?
was
What?
like the elephant in the room. Nobody was
Yeah,
finding him. Yeah,
yeah,
he was doing some nice runs. And then when we did find him, it was a bit too long to pass and it allowed Carl Walker to catch up with him. If it had
yeah,
been a little bit shorter, he could have gone in on goal and turned his body towards and got a shot off. Right?
yeah.
Not that he would have scored, but he would have had a chance. Because
Yeah,
he played
we
Walker
needed some
Violet.
shots on target in the book. You know what I mean? We hardly had.
Yeah,
Did we register what one? Uh,
one shot, yeah.
yuck, not
We
good,
did
not
that in
good.
the League Cup final against them as well. One shot, it was Gio, and their American goalie pushed it round the post. I can't remember his name. Stefan something, I think it was.
They had an American keeper at that point. I don't
Yeah,
even know.
yeah.
Interesting.
He played in the League Cup final against us.
Okay,
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
I'll look
Um.
up his name because I've forgotten his name.
I have no clue who that is. As an American myself, I'm embarrassed. David says though that his frustration was with our coaches and the senior pros. Uh, David saw that Diaz was bullying Vicario from every set piece, and knew that would be our
Yeah,
downfall. Yet coaches and captains failed to put a defender in. Yeah, I
Zach
that
Stefan is his name.
Stefan. Interesting.
Zach Stefan from Colorado Rapids. They got
Interesting.
him. Yeah.
Weird. I do see him. Yeah. I'm interesting. Very interesting.
Not sure if-
Being from Colorado, Leo probably knows a little bit about the man. Um,
I think it was him who played. I'll check the team, but I'm sure it was him who played and not Ortega because I don't think they've had Ortega that long.
Whoa! I just saw something here, and I'm late on the draw. Look at this. Wayne Bonner has gifted one Talking Ball membership. Wayne,
Nice.
big love. Thank you, my man. Yeah, we have memberships now. Super chats, super stickers, all of that fun stuff is now available. We've been monetized. It's happened.
Yeah,
So anybody,
it was.
if you'd like to become a member or any of that stuff, the member link is pinned to the chat at the top. So it's just a click away. Yeah, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Wayne. You're a true gentleman and very much appreciated, sir. We got
Yeah, well
Nippon is in the
done.
building.
Yeah, it was Zach Stefan Colin who played. I knew it was him because I remember them saying it's an American goalie. Because I always look out for American goalies because they're really good.
We produce good goalkeepers. I don't
Yeah,
know what
you
it
do.
is. Yeah, that's like the one position that we can actually produce a competent player in. But anyway, Nippon says, "Big up, Colin and
Big up,
Ellie."
Nippon. Yeah.
Oh,
He
and then
he messaged me today. He's trying to get his laptop to get so he can start streaming again because his
yeah.
phone went AWOL.
Oh
So
no.
yeah.
Well, hey, Nippon, if you got any questions, man, let me know. I work in tech support, and I'll be glad to help you as much as possible, brother.
There you go.
So yeah,
Come
get
to
at me,
talk
man.
and ball. We'll
Exactly.
help you.
Paul G is in the house. What is up, Paul G? Good to have
Yeah,
you
go
here,
on,
my
Paul.
man. And then Audio Artisan saying he thinks that Pierre leaves soon. He will want proper game time before the Euros. But we've seen his agent came out today, and Paul's letting him know that he's not leaving this
Yeah.
winter. So
A good
it'll be
contract,
interesting.
Spurs. It's over 100 grand. So, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
a young family. He's got 2 kids. He's got his wife. He wants to secure his future. He's 29, or is he 28? Yeah. So it's going to be his last move, isn't it? So it has to be the right one for him.
exactly.
And a lot of people saying, no, he should go wherever the first choice. No, he's got to pick what player picks the first club that comes in for them on set. They have to think about it.
Yeah, that would be
for their
idiotic.
family as well. He might
Yeah.
not want to go abroad either. He might want to stay in England.
Exactly. He's made a home here. His kids are probably settled. We all thought that about Kane, though, and then Kane left. But I think Kane left his family in England, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Kane's family came. I think
You
he
know
is.
what though? And also
Germany by himself.
things change in football as well, Colin. Like,
True
you
that.
know, who knew that we were going to have 3 managers in one season last season?
No kidding.
You see what I
Absolutely.
mean? And Spurs
Yeah.
have got a reputation for firing a manager.
Yeah, they definitely do that. David Clark, though, is saying, though, that Spurs fans who criticize Madison's performance against City are clueless. He had only 6 touches, so blame his teammates who failed to find him. When he did get the ball, City just crowded him out. City had our number. City had our number for sure.
Yeah,
I definitely don't blame Madison. I don't think Madison's fully fit yet.
no,
He didn't look it, at least, or at least he looked a little devoid of confidence, maybe.
no. Do you know what it is, Colin? I think he didn't have the legs because I was watching him, right? So we had the
Mhm.
ball in midfield and they played it to him and he just played a simple pass. So normally Madison would take that ball and run, right?
Yeah,
And he didn't. And then there was a part where we'd lost the ball and I saw him in midfield and he didn't make any attempt to run back.
yeah,
Madison would normally help, it at least run back and help the defence, but he just didn't have the legs, so he hasn't got the match fitness yet.
yeah. And that's what Jose actually said, that exact same thing in the show the other
Yeah,
day, that there's a difference between, training on the grass, training, with your teammates, but and then
yeah,
versus actual competitive gameplay, game time. So,
yeah,
yeah, Elliot, you make a really good point. It's just going to take him a while to get back up to match fitness.
yeah.
There's a difference between being
Normally
fit
three
enough
to
to,
five games.
not being injured, and then match fitness. You know what I mean? Like those are
Yeah,
two different things.
it's
So,
normally 3 to 5 games, Colin, that you can get some sort of match. After 3 games, you should be nearly there, but after
yeah.
5, you picked up speed.
Definitely, and we see Benson Court doing that exact thing right now. So,
Yeah,
um, Adrian saying that we should bring in Weston McKennie from Juventus. Trying to knock stuff over. Weston is a box to box midfielder who can play as a fullback. Interesting. And Juventus have shown interest in Højbjerg, so maybe there could be some kind of swap
someone
deal,
post.
cash plus player kind of deal going on there.
It
Do
all
you
depends
have
if
any
Ange
opinions on
wants
Weston
him.
McKennie?
Yeah, it all depends if Ange wants him. But if
For
he does,
sure.
then I'm sure Paratici will be cooking in the background, being that that's his club, really, isn't it?
I
He's
love
with us,
Paratici.
sort of,
Yeah, that's
but
true. That's true. That is his. That maybe he ought to stay away from this one. Maybe we'll let other people handle this one just because it is Juventus.
do you know
But
what? I wouldn't put it past him that Paratici is still cooking for Juventus as
I
well.
wouldn't either, to be honest. He maybe even through an intermediary. You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah,
just got a friend doing all the talking. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. David Clark brings up a good point here. We're talking about Ange, and we're talking about his vision for the team, the fact that he gets transfers right. But David says it's a fact that we spent 95 million on 2 front players who are not of the level that Ange is aiming for, and I think he's speaking, of course, of Brennan Johnson and Richarlison.
five
Um,
thousand. Yeah, 2 front players. Yeah,
yeah,
I do. You know what? I do agree with that. I really do, David, because they're good players. They're good players, but they're not of the level, and they haven't really done anything that's impressed me. I know Werner's been only here for 2 games, two games, sorry, but we could have got better. We could have got better, but because Werner wasn't really Angie's signing either. They presented him. This is what I read. They presented Werner to him, and he said, "Okay, let's go for it." And I think if he had a choice, I don't think he would have chosen him. But he's
yeah,
got, he said yes. So there must have been something inside him that said, "Yeah, well, let's give it a go," because it's only 6 months, and we're losing Sonny. So, but on the other side, Brendan Johnson, that was his signing. He's going to have belief in him. So we'll have to try. We'll have to wait and see what happens with Brendan.
yeah. Very true. Very true. Do you think Richarlison's got a future with us? Do you think he's going to stay beyond this season?
You know what? I don't know because Ange gives us mixed messages over Richarlison, doesn't he? And
He
they're
doesn't.
in the
He doesn't seem
form.
one that's ever gonna show everybody his full card, like his whole hand of cards. You know what I mean? He's always
Yeah,
seems like he's got a little something that he's holding close to the, holding up close and not letting us see. So yeah, you're right. We do get mixed signals. We hear, that he's happy with him, but he's also not going to come out and say, "Oh man, he's shit, isn't he?" Like we're looking to offload him this summer, and so
I think he might have a little soft spot for Ricky, because even when he's been like down in the dumps and he hasn't been performing, or he's taken him off at half time, he always tends to sort of weed himself back into the first 11. So I think he might have quite a little, not a lot of faith in him, but he's got a little bit of faith in him to get his head on a ball, or just to be a bit shit housery here, there, and everywhere. And I think Andy's like that as a man as well. He likes a bit. Nobody does his press conferences. He won't take no shit from no one. And if we say anything derogatory about the club or about what he said, he'll pull up the guy. And I think Richarlison's like that. Like you see him when somebody fouls our player, he's the first down. What are you doing?
Oh yeah.
I love it. With that face.
Yes. He's a scary dude. I wouldn't fight him. Jazz Fusion's in the house.
Background as well, doesn't he?
He does.
Background.
Yeah, those are the ones you got to watch out for. The ones that had to struggle to make it where they are. They know how to graft and how to fight and how to, Something tells me he's been in a couple of fist fights in his life.
True.
Yep. Jazz Fusion in the house saying that he wants Mourinho at Barcelona for the walls. Yeah, that'll never happen, but it would be the funniest thing ever.
It goes against their philosophy, doesn't it? But he's been around a bit, Mourinho, and now Roma has just sacked him. I find that one a bit strange. But he's going to get another job because he's a top manager, regardless of what people think of his style. He gets things done, doesn't he? And he gets trophies. Yeah,
I would kind of like to see him. I'd kind of like to see him go back and manage another Portuguese team. See if he could bring him back. You know what I mean? See if he could recreate the success that he had in the past in the Champions League. Not impossible. Not impossible.
They won the Euros before Italy, didn't they? They won the Euros, Portugal, but they've never won the World Cup. I could see Mourinho going there and like them winning the World Cup. He's such a smooth guy. He gets it over the line. He comes to us, doesn't win anything, but he got us to a final.
His style seems to work really well for like tournament style, like football.
Yeah, but he's won the Champions League and he's won league titles with Chelsea.
Yeah, got us to a final, like you said.
Yeah, he's been successful everywhere he's gone, apart from when you think about it. Because he got us Europa League, didn't he? And we got to the League Cup final, and then we sacked him. So he didn't even get a chance to be successful at our club.
No, there was something behind the scenes there, and perhaps we'll never know truly what happened. Who knows? We've got, Jazz Fusion is in the house. Big up, Jazz. Joe Phillips in the house too. Another name that I don't see too often. Big up. Oh, and he's agreeing. David Clark says that Klopp is taking time out because of the pressure of the job at the highest level, and that's what he will do. That's what he says he'll do, David. It wouldn't be the first time that somebody has said something and done something different. If the Barcelona job comes and they knocked, even if you were going to take a year-long break, if Barcelona came and said, "Hey, we'd like to have you as our manager," you'd have a hard time saying no, I think.
Well, if that does happen, then he's gone against what he said, and like you said, Colin, people do change their mind,
especially when new opportunities
to brood on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And think about what a powerhouse Barcelona could be again if they started playing Klopp style. You know what I mean? Like that would be something else. Obviously, he would need to get some players in, and they don't exactly have tons of capital right now to spend. Yeah. But yeah, I'd be really interested to see what he could do with that team. That would be really neat.
Plus, his wife probably doesn't want to spend too much money on the toothpaste.
There you go. Exactly. Yes.
She won't get a look in the bathroom, will she?
No, he'll be in there checking those chompers. Oh man, good stuff. So Adrian tells us though that Mali are due to meet Senegal in the final, which will mean Sar or
The
Basuma will
quarterfinal,
return a week
yeah.
earlier. Oh, the quarterfinal. Nice. Okay, so Sar or Basuma will return a week earlier. Please
Yeah,
let it
so
be
it works
Sar.
out.
No,
Is it
no
is it
offense, but
Marley that Mane plays for?
yes,
Yeah,
yes, I believe so. Um,
yeah.
no, wait, Sadio Mane?
Yeah,
I
it's
think he
Sadio
plays for.
Mane.
He's Senegalese, I think.
Is he Senegalese? Oh my
Yeah,
God, they've got even
I
more time. I
I
thought he
think
played for
so.
Mali.
We'll find out. People in the chat will let us know if we're wrong for
I'll
sure.
pick it up for you.
But look
Mane.
at this. Paul G was the recipient of the membership from Wayne Bonner. Again, big up, Wayne. Thank
Yay.
you. And Paul, welcome to La Familia. Is what we call our little membership gang here. But like I always say, anybody who's here in the chat, you're part of the family as well. We love having you here. Um, Dave's saying I love
Yeah.
Bentancur, but that was his worst game since he came to Spurs. I don't know if he was just tired or he couldn't get on the same page as his fellow midfield players. But when
He
Sar's
was
back, it will.
he was
Yeah.
helping the defence so much because they couldn't get the ball out. And do you remember when we played them at their ground and Postecoglou brought on Højbjerg because we weren't getting the ball out? But
Mm-hmm.
what was happening? They were doing some nice 1-2s, Benny and Højbjerg, but we were pressed so hard that we were losing it. We were losing it. Like the first pass, we didn't lose it. The second pass, we did. But the third pass, we were losing it when we were
Right.
trying to transition through midfield to attack.
Yeah,
It closed us
that final
down.
ball.
They shut up shop, Colin, and we just couldn't get out a lot of the time. And when we did get out, we didn't make the right ball.
Yeah, agreed. Big time. Big time agreed. We just couldn't put it together, and it seemed like they were
Yeah,
just choking the life out of us. It really.
yeah. They grind you down, Man City, because they're so technical, but they work like dogs. They're like hungry for that ball. I said it the other
Definitely.
day on. Well, my brother was the one who first told me. He goes, when Pep was at Barcelona, they had the 6-second rule to win the ball back because apparently from defence to midfield you can score a goal in 6 seconds,
Yeah.
right? That's the average. They look at the average of how long it takes to score a goal from the back
Mm-hmm.
to the middle to the front, right? Or even like just a one ball up, yeah, bypass midfield. So they've got that 6 seconds. He played in that system, Pep Guardiola. So he just brings it and he says he makes sure that every single player gives every blood, sweat, and tear for him. Right? It's just not. And then their technical skill is superior as well.
Right.
And
It's
got
almost
players
like how
like De
Pochettino
Bruyne.
had players ready to run through walls for him, but he might not have
Yeah,
the quality. It's like Pep's got access to both. He's got the loyalty, the commitment, and the quality of footballer.
yeah.
Um,
I think
so
we
yeah.
matched them. I think we matched them on energy because we
Mm-hmm.
weren't like stagnant. We were really giving them a game in terms of trying to win the ball back in defence. Van de Ven was superb. Romero was really good. The only thing I thought Romero didn't do so well in this match that he normally does is pick out that really good killer pass. Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's really good at picking up, and Porro as well. We needed him to do a few good passes for us. But they knew our danger man, right, was Porro and Kulu because they can unlock the defences in terms of the passing. Yeah, and with Kulu, he normally does it when he's further down the pitch, but he was picking the ball up like Harry Kane, wasn't he? And he wasn't like doing what Harry Kane can do.
No, not many can, and not many can. So
No,
that's not a side against him. But you're right. He wasn't as effective back there as he would have been further up the pitch, for sure.
yeah.
Um, David Clark saying that though that he believes that Werner is a short-term fix that Spurs won't be signing in the summer.
Yeah, because I don't think he's Ange's first choice. I think they,
No,
like I said, they presented him and he said, "Okay, we'll go with it."
but if he bags in 10, I mean the price is right. So
Depends on Ange whether he sees him as part of his plans.
true. And if he buys in and everything,
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. Who knows what kind of mindset the guy's in? We
yeah.
might have been his only option. And he also
It's like
says,
when you go to
David,
the supermarket and they go buy one get one free.
And you're like, ah, shit, I was only going to get one, but I'm sure, I
Yeah.
guess I'll take the other. Yeah.
All right, I'll have it. Go on, we'll
I
give
do it
it a
all the time.
whirl.
Yeah.
Like Macaulay
One for
Culkin.
three or
Oh,
3 for 6. And you're like, yeah, I'll take the 3 for 6. Of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I?
I could just imagine Macaulay Culkin. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's try it.
In Home Alone.
Yes. I
And
love
Mr.
it.
Cockle, I'll give it a whirl, mate.
I'll give it a whirl, mate. Yeah, absolutely. And David also thinks that Richarlison will be sold to the Saudi Arabian League in the summer, and that we will be buying a better level of striker. 100%. Hope you're right, man. I love Richarlison for his commitment, for his vibes, for his pigeon dance, for everything. But I'll be honest, I wasn't a fan of him before he came. I've learned to love him, and I'm not like tied to him. It's not like it's gonna hurt me if he leaves.
No.
Talking Beer asked when we're gonna do a call-in show soon, and if you would ever like to be on the show, Talking Beer, just talking with us yourself, you know where to reach me, dude. And I'd be glad to get you the link. We would love to have you on, my guy. He says Nagelsmann to Liverpool.
I was going to say, he's only 26 for Charlison.
Yeah.
He's too young to go to the Saudi League, I think. And
he's had quite a decent career. You know what I mean? He's had quite a decent career.
Yeah, he's Watford, Everton, and up.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was even decent at Watford,
Yeah, he scored 5 goals. He didn't play that many games for Watford because Everton snapped him up. His goal scoring record for Everton was 1 in 3.
Yeah, not great, not terrible.
It's okay. Like most strikers, 1 in 2 is better. Yeah, not many strikers score 1 in 1 unless you're Messi or Lewandowski.
Exactly. Harry Kane. Speaking of Harry Kane, Niall Kane is in the house saying big ups to Niall. Big up, buddy. Good to have you here as always.
He scored 5 in 38 for Watford. He scored 43 in 135 games for Everton, so that's 1 in 3. And for Brazil, he scored 20 in 48, so that's nearly 1 in 2 for Brazil. Yeah, see, so yes, it's not that bad.
No, not at all.
Quite a good move. His name's Richarlison DeAndre.
I think it's cool that Richarlison is his first name. I always figured it was his last name. It sounds so much more like a last name to me than a first name. But
yeah, is that his surname or his first name, Richarlison?
I think it's his first name. And again, anyone in the chat, if they know better, they can definitely let us know.
I think it's pronounced DeAndrade. DeAndrade. That's how you pronounce it, isn't it? DeAndrade.
That's yours is probably better than mine. I'm gonna butcher it if I try, so I'm just gonna leave it there and say you got it right, Ellie. But yeah, I need to start putting a poll in these videos. But just everybody in the chat, just let us know how you're feeling about Spurs, about where we're going, about the trophy lost, but now we got 1 game a week. Maybe we can focus on the league and get a nice league position. I don't know. I don't think things are as bad as some people are making them out to be.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not good to be out of both of our basically only opportunities to win a trophy. Nobody likes that. You've been waiting. We've been waiting all a long time for another trophy at Spurs.
Yeah, true. Are we going to do a keep on West Ham?
We are. We got it ready. Yay. Are you ready for it? This is a weird one though.
That's what I live for.
Yes. Well, this is a weird one today. Today we've got. This is all with defensive players that we might bring in. None of these players are Spurs players today. And so today we've got to keep one, bench one, and send one to West Ham. It's all players that we've been linked. It's all players that we've been linked with. But I thought this one was a little interesting, and yeah. So, guys, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get this thing. Let's get this show on the road.
On the YouTube.
You got it. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keeper West Ham, the internet's favorite Tottenham game show. Today's edition is going to be a little different. I have three defenders, and I just want to know basically who you'd have. We've been linked with all three of these guys at different times, and let's throw them up. We've got Tabsoba, we've got Lloyd Kelly, and then we've got Tadibo. And I actually said that it's Tadibo's there first, Lloyd Kelly in the middle, and then Tapsoba on the right.
Yes. Good choice.
I know that Tadibo and Tapsoba both have kind of more promise, maybe, or are seen as better prospects than Lloyd Kelly. But Lloyd Kelly's got Premier League experience that you can't discount. So yeah, this is a tough one. I also liked how all their kits had the red and black. Looks kind of cool. But yeah, this is. I know who. If Chang was here, I know who Chang would pick. Chang is a Lloyd Kelly fan. He wants Lloyd Kelly at the club, and I honestly think it might be the most realistic out of these. You know what I mean? Out of these, especially with the fact that we've already done some business. We brought in Dragishin, so. You know what I mean? The thought of us bringing in maybe another big money defender, I don't know if I can see it, but Lloyd Kelly I think is very gettable.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
This is.
Get him? That's another question. Let Chang have him for his local team. Sorry, Chang.
Look at this. Looks like we might be getting a special guest, guys. So hang tight. But yeah, everybody.
Yay!
You're not voting for Lloyd Kelly? Is that what I heard you say, Ali?
I said Chang, because Chang likes him so much, he can have him for his local team.
There you go. Yes. Yeah, sorry, Chang.
It's all right, Chang. We love you, man. You know what? Sometimes you want to a player because he's your type of player. No?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Chang's a great dude. Chang's a great member of the channel. Big love to Chang.
Chang.
But yeah, Ellie, who out of these three would you most like to have? To me, it's.
I would like most to have is Todibo.
Really nice.
Yeah.
See,
and the reason why is because he's an all-round brilliant player. He's a fantastic footballer as well as a fantastic defender, right? And very commanding, brings the ball out so superbly. When we were first linked with him, honestly, I hadn't heard of him. Honestly, no word of a lie, I hadn't heard of him. So then normally I'll just look at YouTube clips and that. But then I started talking to some French people that I know, right? Because I went to Nice where he plays for my 60th birthday.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He was actually playing in the Conference League when I was over there, right? But I've never heard of him, right? So I've done my research, asked my French people in Nice that I know, and they said he's a fantastic player. But you know when other people tell you that you have to check it out for yourself. So I started doing research, started watching a lot of his games, and every game it had a common theme that he can bring the ball out so well, right? So I like that type of player because Romero does that, but he does it with more pace than Romero. Yeah, and he can dribble really well as well out of defence, which I like. And he's very good at anticipating what's going to happen. But it was a close call between him and Tapsoba. I also love Tapsoba as well. I just think Todibo just edges it. But it's not by much. But I would keep to buy Todibo, bench Tapsoba, and send Lloyd Kelly to Chang.
There you go. Love it. Send him to Chang. Love it. Well, El Tel Cockerel, Mr. Jose himself, says keep Tapsoba, bench Todibo, and Sal Kelly, and that's where I'm at too, Jose. Ellie, I apologize having to go against yours. Talking Beer says that he's keeping Tapsoba, Sal, and Kelly, and benching Todibo. Says Todibo gets as many or more reds than Romero. That is not good. We don't need that. my reasoning, like you were saying, there's not a whole lot. I think that between Tapsoba and Tadibo. But the one thing that I like better about Tapsoba's pedigree kind of is just that he comes from where he's playing early in the Bundesliga, which I think of as a higher level league than the French, top tier. We've just not had great luck buying players from League One or League and so yeah, that's my one reason. But I mean,
I get your point. Tapsoba is a beast of a defender. I just like what Todibo can offer a little bit more in terms of bringing the ball out and general
playing out from the back.
But defensively, Tapsoba is probably the best out of the three. Yeah,
he is an absolute beast, helping Bayer Leverkusen too on their awesome run they're on right now.
The top of the league by 4 points.
Getting him isn't going to happen, which is funny because Jazz Fusion says, I thought this was name 3 players who won't be at Spurs. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But we do need. I think we need another defender. I really do. And and it could be a Lloyd Kelly-esque player that's got Premier League experience, but that isn't like lighting the world on fire. We just need somebody experienced that can be there just in case. Quez says that he's keeping Todibo, benching Tapsoba, and selling Kelly. So he's right on the same as you, Els.
Yeah.
But yeah, Talking Beer says he doesn't think Tapsoba will leave until Xabi leaves. You're probably right, Talking Beer. You're probably right. And while we're doing this, Talking Beer, I'm trying to send you something. So be on the lookout. Be on the lookout on your Twitter, buddy. David Clark says, I'm with Ellie for the one and only time in my life, probably, LOL, regarding keep, bench, and sell. David's awesome.
Funny.
David's a good dude.
Sometimes polar opposites on things, especially when he mentions Spurs ladies.
Oh, yeah? I wouldn't know. Hold on. What's his... We'll have to talk later. Yeah.
Yeah, Spurs ladies lost yesterday, unfortunately. So we conceded 2 goals against Manchester City, lost 2-0, and they battered us 7-0 at their ground. So we've scored none and conceded 9 against Manchester City women, which is really a bummer because they're not even top of the league. They're 3rd and we're 6th at the moment. It was really bad to sort of take that knock after we picked up. We've beaten the Arsenal as well at White Hart Lane.
Exactly. Yeah.
It don't matter. It's sometimes in football you have to go backwards to go forwards, and I think we're not going backwards. We're in transition because we've got a lot of new girls started in the team. They got to get used to each other. Yeah.
So, agreed. And it sucks that the men and sounds familiar, Ellie. The men and women's team both got rocked by City in a matter of days.
You go back 10, 11 years, and Manchester City were nowhere in the football world. Yeah. And now they're like storming it everywhere.
Yeah, it's crazy what some money will do, huh?
And money and a fantastic coach.
That
attracts
too.
The best players.
That too, yeah. But has there ever been a player that Man City, except for Harry Kane, I guess, that Man City really wanted and didn't get? I don't know. But guys, thank you so much for getting your answers in. If anybody else has an opinion on this, please throw it in there. I'm Lloyd Kelly. So for me though, I want to keep Tapsoba. I want to bench Lloyd Kelly, and I'm gonna sell Todibo.
Okay.
I know that's not popular,
right?
But I do like
opinion.
I do like the Premier League experience that Lloyd Kelly offers, and I feel like he would be a good bench option. Jazz Fusion says City were winning before Pep, and that is a good point.
They were.
Mancini? Was it Mancini?
About 11 years. 11 years they've been dominating English football before Pep arrived. Because I think Pep's been there 8 years, is it, or 9 years? Because the first year he didn't win anything, Pep, did he? It was his second year he won. So I think he's been, and they've won 6 out of 7. So I think he's been there 8 years in total. right? And 3 years before that, they were winning things as well. But before that, they were nowhere in football.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It's like I said, FFP came a bit too late to stop some of these teams from,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. They'd won the league and they've won the FA Cup, but like throughout their history, they weren't the most successful team.
yeah, not many. They were definitely the other team in Manchester.
They
You know
got
what I
their
mean?
house in order, and now they're the bee's knees.
Exactly. Well, that was maybe too easy of a keeper West Ham for everybody, and I apologize. Will be better next time for sure. Ellie, we've been going for an hour and a half. This has been a wonderful show. We've got to talk to some wonderful people. Talked about, I think after today, we can officially stop talking about the City match, and we can move forward. And
we
we can
to that Brentford game.
Exactly, which isn't going to be easy. It's no walk in the park, but no game in the Premier League is, and that's why I think we all love the league so much. Let me get these fools off the screen. Boom, there we go. But guys, yes, that has been Keeper West Ham. Are we going to get any of those players in? Probably not. But that is okay. I think we can all agree that there's still. We would all like to see, one or two more incomings. A lot of people I know think that we're done, and I kind of wouldn't be surprised. But unless something kind of falls into our lap, like has in the past, if a deal too good to pass up comes by, Levy will, we'll snap them up for sure. Yeah. Oh shoot, guys, I'm so glad we waited just a bit. We've got somebody who I've never. This is wonderful. I wish I had an intro to play, but guys, it's Nick. It's Talking Beer. What's up, bro?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, dude?
Man, not too bad.
Yeah,
living the dream. Running errands right now. In the parking lot of Academy, I have to get some stuff for my boys, and then I have to get back to doing some actual work. So we'll see.
That's
fun, dude. Well, thanks for stopping by, man, and saying hey. No, I love it.
Dude. No. It's I watch the show like every day, and sorry, there's tons of people walking around. Yeah, I watch the show every day. Like they're all looking at me like I'm crazy sitting here in the parking lot. Watch the show like every day. Just love the Spurs. Buddy of mine got me into it when he's like, "Hey man, Clint Dempsey's playing for this team, bro. Like we gotta watch them."
Yeah. Those are good days, man.
Good. Cool, man.
Those are good days. Clint Dempsey came up with some clutch goals for Spurs too. He usually does. He usually does that.
Yeah,
I love his attitude. That's my big thing. Like, so that's what I associate with Spurs is his balls to the wall, very cavalier attitude. Like he goes for it, and that's what I love about, and that's what I in my mind what I associate with Spurs is that. So
absolutely, no, never afraid of anybody.
He's a player for us. He scored in the rain. He scored in the rain, and I was at White Hart Lane, and he scored in the rain and made it 1-1 against Man United, virtually in the last seconds of the game. And I mean, it was so incredible. And then when he scored up at Manchester United, and he did that sort of pose to the fans, like, "Hey, man."
Absolutely.
See, Ellie, that's our first win.
Ellie, that's what I love about you. You remember all these little things, like what he did. These in the rain, like all this very specific. My brain doesn't work that way. I remember, X, Y. This happened, and no, but this is why you are the queen. This is why we all love you. That's amazing.
When you're getting drenched at a football match, right? You always remember the really cold, drenching ones, or ones where you've been back to the wall, but you still get a result out of it. Yeah. And that game at Manchester United that we won 3-2, that was fabulous. And that was, I think it was Andres Villas-Boas was in charge that day, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. What a beautiful specimen of a man he was too. What hair? I just wanted his hair.
I liked him. He's a very handsome man, but I liked him because when we scored that third goal, he fist pumped like yes, we finally beat Manchester United at their ground. We hadn't beaten.
Hadn't happened in while. I would say like 20 years, something like that, maybe even longer. It's crazy.
I missed a little bit of the show. What's the temperature? How are we feeling about Noosa? Just you two. I mean, I've seen a few other opinions on it. I missed, like I said, I apologize if I'm rehashing.
No, it's brilliant. Good. The fact that we lost out on him doesn't really bother me a ton. Is that bad to say? Like,
Ditto.
I know
No.
he probably would have come out and been a good player, but there's every single chance that he wouldn't have, that he would have just joined the ranks of young players that have come to Spurs and seen their careers kind of nosedive. I think Brentford probably is a better move for him, to be honest.
Me too. I mean, he's young and going somewhere. So right now he's, what was he, 37 euro. So that's what, 31 pounds, million, obviously. But so, in a couple of years when he's 20, 21, if he continues on the trajectory that he's going right now, we're talking kid's going to be, I don't know, because at that point he'll be pushing homegrown, right? 18 to 21.
Yeah, you're right.
By the time he's 21, he'll be pushing homegrown. So kid will be pushing 75, 80, maybe 100 million. We're talking in 2-3 years, if he keeps on the trajectory he is right now. But if he keeps on that, Brentford's going to sell him before then. So I don't know.
Well, we've got alternatives, because I was just looking at social media. This Sebastian Szymanski we've got on the radar. We've got Samuel Ilian Jr. on the radar. And then there's another couple which I'm trying to find now, but I can't find them. They said we're linked four youngsters. There's that Zamba guy that you mentioned as well, the one playing for Ajax. So there are other alternatives, but obviously this Nusa guy, he's sort of quite high profile because he plays with Erling Haaland for Norway as well, and he's
I didn't even think.
Yeah, but
has his international career been good?
He's not prolific. He scored 6 goals in 38, but he's only 18, so if you're scoring at 18, that's pretty cool in my book.
I agree.
He's got 6 goals. Yeah, but listen, he's gone to Brentford, so we have to take it on the chin. We can't do anything about it now. He's gone. So we have to look at other alternatives. So let's see what he does at Brentford. If he impresses, he won't be there for very long, because they won't be able to keep hold of him if bigger clubs come calling.
Yeah, that was kind of my point. That to me is the price tag right now at 18. Yes, he's fantastic. Yes, he is a huge he has a huge ceiling. Like his ceiling is super high. So he's going to be good theoretically. We'll see what he does in the Prem, but right now 37, you can't. I mean, we could spend, I don't know. There again, I hate diving into the money aspect of it, because I think it's stupid for a fan to think about. This is just my opinion. That I think it's stupid for a fan to think about the money aspect of it and the business aspect of it. I mean, I have run multi-million-dollar companies before. I have been in charge of them, and I have customers telling me all the time, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." Okay, well, you're not in my shoes. You don't see the entire.
I'm where I am, and you're where you are.
Right, and I don't. I mean, yes, but I don't want to. I can't put it to him like that. But in the same sense, like, no, I see what you're saying. It just, it's hard. Like, I'm not in their shoes. I am going to trust what they're doing. I love the club, and call me a happy clapper or whatever, but I love the club. I love watching football. I love the attitude of the club prior to and post the previous 2 managers.
Boom. Yes,
it's completely different. Like that whole era was those are the dark ages as far as I'm concerned for Tottenham Hotspur football. And
I'm sure that you must love Ange then. If you loved Clint Dempsey and his attitude, I think that Ange is right up your alley. You know what I mean?
I'm very Southern. I'm very as far as in the U.S., I'm very Southern. I grew up in the country. Like, you don't let the bully come to you. You recognize who the bully is, and you go to the bully. That's what I
like that saying.
That's my attitude about it, and I have to dial it back a lot. It helps me in business. tremendously. It helps
Sure.
me in business.
Yeah.
It helps me in a lot of things in life. I love watching that style, that just attacking. It doesn't even have to be attacking, just unrelentless. Unrelentless. You know what I mean? That relentless, you know what you're going to expect every Saturday, Sunday, or whenever. You know what to expect from your club, because that's the attitude that your club is going to have. And if the hirings are not correct and all that and everything, all this whole new wave of hirings as far as recruiting and that side goes, and manager, then let's figure something out. I mean, I've been a suffering Cowboys fan for a long time.
Forever.
I used to live in Dallas. I mean, I lived in Dallas when they were winning Super Bowls. So, that just solidified it for me. But and Jerry Jones is an Arkansan. He's grown up here, and that's the thing. Everybody criticizes Jerry Jones. Everybody criticizes Levy and Enoch, and I'm fine with it. That's your prerogative. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy watching football, and I'm gonna enjoy the aspects that I can. I'm gonna be upset about the aspects that I can't, or the things that I can't change. But us as fans, we cannot change. There's very little we can change with our voice, just talking on this and getting all upset and whatnot about we missed out on this, or we did this, or whatever. There's nothing I can do about it right now. I love the club, and all I can do is hope for it to change. There's literally nothing I can do about it.
And we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. As much as we like to think we do, people are like, oh, we waited we waited a little too long on that deal, and otherwise we should have had Dragish snapped up in the first 4 days of the window. How do you know? I mean,
that never happens.
What type of player deals have you been involved in? You know what I mean? It's like,
that also never happens. Like, when's the last time y'all remember that we've gotten any business done that early in the window? Granted, there's been a bit of a drought between then and now, but when's the last time that y'all remember? I'm talking like it's been a minute since we've done some business in January that early in the window.
Yeah.
It
wasn't like a thing where we were waiting all window and he finally came at the end why can't I think Pedro Porro? Wasn't a Pedro Porro type of deal.
Porro, what a scouting job, and what a purchase was that, man.
Oh my God,
fabulous, isn't he? Yeah.
People still shit. Oh, can I cuss?
You can say whatever you want, bro.
Okay. People still shit on him, and it drives me fucking crazy. I don't know.
I'm the same way, dude.
People got opinions about players, and they have to air it, so it gets it off their chest, and then they feel better for it because that's their opinion. But some people are a little bit over the OTT when it comes to some players, and they really are overcritical. Yeah. But do you know what? I was going to say your good point about competing, because even though we didn't play particularly well against Man City, we were in the match in terms of when I say in the match, I don't mean we were controlling the match. I'm saying we held on for the 88th minute, and then they got the goal. So it's not we're not too far away from being that ultra competitive team that can get things over the line. And I really do believe in Ange Postecoglou, especially to get us over that line, because he's done it everywhere he's gone. And not only that, he knows what type of footballer fits in his system. He's already identified that Højbjerg doesn't, because he doesn't play him unless he has.
But he's staying.
Unless he has to, then he has.
I think they were like, "Please say Højbjerg, we need you for the rest of this season, bro." Like,
man, we're so thin right now.
You know what I mean? He wouldn't be here because he's not an Ange type player. Because Ange likes players that don't put their foot on the ball, but move it very quickly. I'm not saying Højbjerg can't do it, but he's not as proficient as the players that Ange has had in the past, and the players that Ange wants to bring in the future. Yeah,
I just hear Ange like when right after he was hired, pass it forward, like, you know,
Oh,
in
no.
his like screaming on the
Yeah.
touchline, like pass it
I
forward.
remember
What
that
for?
bit.
I
That
love
was
it.
against
Oh,
Borussia Dortmund, right? We were
was
playing
it?
them. Yeah, not Borussia Dortmund. Was it Borussia? No, Shakhtar Donetsk, right?
In
We
Oh,
the
were playing
preseason.
them
preseason.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
friendly, and what happened? The ball came to Højbjerg, right? And he just
Mhm.
hoofed it in the air, like into Rosette, and like
Mhm.
at Postacoglu done his nut. He went crazy.
That's how we used to play when I was a kid. Just boot the ball as hard as you can. I remember
Oh
before we
man,
had like proper coaching, it was just like lump it forward, you know, route one type stuff.
well,
But
players when they get down to, and I see this on the youth level right now, because both my boys are playing travel ball, which in the U.S. travel ball is like club level. You know, it's, you know, whatever. It's hard to explain.
no,
That's a whole nother.
it's
a whole
way
nother
different here.
Yeah, a whole nother episode altogether. But I see it all the time when they get frustrated or things get a little crazy. They feel like things get a little out of hand. They start just booting it, and they don't
Yeah.
care who's in front of them. They'll just boot it, you know. And oftentimes it goes directly to the wrong person because they're not even looking up. They're like, I got the ball. I've been pressed all game. You know, I've been dispossessed. I don't know how many times. And they just boof it. And I feel like, I don't know this obviously because I've never played professional football, but I feel like on that level, even if you're 22, 23, whatever, you're still young. If some instinct is going to kick in and tell you to just boof it. And, you know, Højbjerg's, I mean, he's still under 30 by a good bit. You know, he's still a kid.
Couple of
Like,
years.
even he doesn't look like it. He didn't look like it. Most of those
He
dudes
looks
don't look
older,
like it.
doesn't he?
He does. Look at Dragoson. I mean, look at that dude. Would you tell me that he's, what is he, 23?
21.
Oh, he's younger than that, 21.
Oh my,
yeah.
He's a freaking monster. Like,
I know.
if he had an axe in his hand, I'd run the other way for damn sure.
Him and Brennan Johnson are like the same age. But yeah, Brennan Johnson's older.
Really?
Double the size of Brendan Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh my
crazy,
gosh.
man.
But like,
Crazy.
you know, you tend to forget that these are kids, and they still are going to, well, they're kids. They're young adults.
Young men.
They're still going to mentally, when they get pressed or frazzled or whatever, whether they're on the world class level or whatever. I've seen Bellingham do it in Real Madrid games when he just like does something and he gets frazzled and you can tell it. And then what does he do? He just boots the ball and it hits somebody not even remotely close to where it should be or where it should go. But like, it's gonna happen, and all the time,
I know
people.
what you mean, because I was watching the FA Cup game, Maidstone versus Ipswich, right?
Yep.
And like all the Maidstone, they were just hoofing it, just getting it out, right? And then it was coming back at them, and like I think Ipswich had 28 chances to score to their 2, and the two times they hoofed it up, and they made a good pass, and they scored twice, two shots, two in the goal. Sorry. Ipswich 28 chances, not one goal. It's a hilarious game.
Yeah, and you see it a lot. I'm sorry, Carl. Go ahead.
No. What you were saying sounded cooler.
You said, no, it never does. You see it a lot in the FA Cup when you have the freaking Maidstone versus freaking Liverpool or freaking whatever. You know, you have it. You see it a lot in those matches when you have a team that's completely fucking overmatched up against the best in the world. I mean, and you're gonna see it. What they're gonna try to move the ball down, and then Man City's press is something else, y'all. It's something else. And and so dude's coming down, and then he gets completely trapped. What's he gonna do? He's just gonna try to boof it. You know, just pow, just get rid of the damn ball, get it to somebody else, get it down the field somewhere in our direction, and there's nobody down there. Oh man, what do I do? It's an overmatched issue a lot of times, but you know, the ones that figure it out, they usually figure it out around 26 to 28. I think Madison was I think we're getting Madison's peak right now.
Yeah.
And
100%.
he's not going to be rattled by your Man City. He's not going to be rattled by, Man City's midfield is ridiculous. He's not going to be, rattled by a lot of these just ridiculous midfield. I cannot wait till, assuming we get Europe next year, I cannot wait for him and some of the more experienced, mid to late 20s players that we have going into those matches with their experience, fully knowing the scheme that we're playing, the style of play, and with most of their attitudes, they're all taking on the attitude of the manager, and it's balls to the wall, in your face. This is what I'm doing. I'm putting this out there. Stop me, and if they stop us, cool. That's on probably talent. 9 times out of 10, that's going to be on based on talent. So
yeah. But you know Pep, right, in that game, right? So in the first game we played them at their ground, he saw that Kulusevski was picking up the ball quite deep, right, and playing really nice balls, right? So what he did, he stifled Kulusevski, because if he turns, he can pick out a pass, right? And then what he did, he pressed us really high up because he knows we're quite good at bringing the ball out. And once we break in the lines, Man City, they are good defensively, but they're not like peak. I don't think they're peak. You can get a goal against them, right? But if you beat their press, you've got a chance. But we weren't beating that first press, and they were penning us in. And it was only a few times that we broke the lines and got through. And it wasn't enough, because the one chance that we did get, Brennan Johnson's sort of wasteful with it because we took a touch too much.
I think it's tough to say though, that he was wasteful, because it was only one chance. You know what I mean? If he had wasted many chances, then
I'm just saying he's wasteful with that chance.
Yeah,
you could be wasteful with one chance or 500 chances, but the thing is, he took one touch too much, and the chance went, and the goalie recovered, didn't he? And he got the blocking, right? But we just didn't do that enough, and it was because of Man City. It's not because of the lack of effort, because we had the effort, but their tenacity was higher than ours to win the ball and to press us. They're just on another level. Their press is on another level.
Yeah, it's insane. It's otherworldly. Like,
it's crazy they've got that good of a press and that much talent on the ball. Those two things together. Those aren't usually it's usually kind of one or the other. You're usually like a high pressing, very athletic team, or you're a very technical team. But to have it both is quite impressive.
No regard for FFP and a lot of other things. And a bottomless pit of money will get you a lot.
That's very true.
I'll leave it at that.
That's
beyond, no. So I two things. My oldest son's coach, he goes to Barcelona and Madrid every summer and coaches with their youth academy. The dude is an amazing coach. So one of the things that he says, that specific instance that I was talking about earlier, when players revert back to their initial just instincts and just kicking the ball, that's from him. And he says, I don't know, I need to start making writing down a book of shit he says, because it's ridiculous. And I try to pass that on to my kids, but right now they're young. I'm of the mindset, let them enjoy the sport.
Definitely. But start drilling stuff into them a little later. You know what I mean? Yeah, let them have fun.
They run picking like 5, 6, 7-year-olds. They do. Yeah. Until they learn the structure of a game and where you should position yourself and things like that.
Passing triangles and
they run after the same ball.
I mean, they're doing rondos and stuff right now, which is really cool. Because we'll watch the Tottenham pregame show on Spurs Play, and the main reason why I even got it is so they can watch that, because they love watching the players warm up and see they do the same stuff that we do. That's awesome. It's awesome for them. And man, some of the stuff that's happening is exactly how he was saying it was going to happen, and it's eerie. So his next prediction, and that's I need my crystal ball out right now. No, Colin, I got one, man. I got one. I legit. It's one of those little electric whatever the static electricity things. Yeah.
We'll need to see that. We'll need to see that on the show.
I bought. Yeah, I definitely, absolutely. I bought it. My wife was like, "What the hell did you buy that?" But no, his next prediction is that everybody's going to settle in during the summer. He's going to assess, or he's assessing currently who's in and who's out as far as buy-in. And during the summer, there's going to be a massive switch over. Like, we may not recognize the squad next year, even recent purchases, because you don't know until you get them in the door who's what. That's his next prediction, and I'm like, that kind of scares me, because then we have a whole new crew of guys that got to learn. But I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I enjoy watching football for the first time. I enjoy watching my team for the first time in quite a few years. I couldn't, I'm not. It's in the U.S. to get up for an early game. It's,
oh man, it takes a lot sometimes.
Dude, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. Whatever. I mean, our Indian and our Indian friends and Southeast Asia friends have it far worse than I do, but Australian friends, they all have it far worse than I do. Man, it's like, it's right at the exact time that I'm getting my kids up for school, and under Conte and under Mourinho, it's like I'm dragging myself out of bed to watch this, and we're
getting slapped.
Yeah, dude, I'm just excited. Well, they won their fair bit, but even in winning, you win a 1-0 match, and it's just like, God.
And you're holding on for that win for half the match, just
yeah, but it's just
willing
like,
them not to score.
What did I just watch? It's like,
I'm too predictable, wasn't it? Because it was like, get it on the wing, pass it in the midfield to Harry Kane, because Harry Kane was a midfielder and a striker, and he dictate all the play. But now
false nine all day.
Moro going in there, Udogie going in there, Romero coming in there. It confuses the opposition. They think, who are we going to mark now? And they all interchange. Like Van der Ven, you saw him on the right. He was on Romero's side. And I thought, what's he doing on that side? Because they interchange. They know where to move.
I have a little bit different of a take. I think that, for whatever predictability that those two managers did. So Mourinho is an 80s style manager. Conte is a 90s style manager. So we progressed a little bit, but now you have a sorry, my friends are tired of hearing that little spiel. But so now we have a guy this is what I'm going to play regardless. And this is actually more of a 70s style, but this is what I'm going to play. This is what I'm going to do. Stop me. So it is ultimately predictable to a fault. But the thing is, it's like, here's what I'm gonna do. Stop me. Yeah.
Let's see what you got. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see what you got. Can you stop me? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna run a high line. We're gonna attack as much as possible. We don't have the front line to do it right now. We just don't. And
what I would say, because what they do, they all interchange. So there's predictability in the style of play, but when we actually move around, there's not much predictability, because the players, they interchange with one another. Like when Davies plays, you can tell that he's a bit of a dinosaur, but even him, he moves about a bit. He doesn't stay in one position, and he knows that he has to do that. He probably doesn't want to do it because he's old school, but these players are trying to learn this system. Højbjerg is another one, a victim of the system, because he's a good player, don't get me wrong, and his passing game is really good, but it's not quick.
No.
And this system requires quickness, and I saw in the chat it was because we didn't move the ball quick enough in transition. I totally agree.
Fair, yeah, agreed
We
too.
were too slow
Yeah.
and deliberate, and even Romero, who's usually quite brilliant at bringing the ball out and picking a pass, he was too slow. It was like they were overthinking things.
Definitely. You guys, I hate to be this person because this has been such a wonderful thing. I have work in
I know.
14 minutes, so
Skip
I
it.
gotta
You're gonna
run.
get
Oh
fired
man,
if
I
you don't
want to
Skip
so bad.
it.
I gotta pay for this new house. I can't.
You got
But-
to earn your
but-
I
crap.
get you, bub.
But Nick,
I got
dude,
you, bub.
it's
I
been-
understand. I get
It's
it.
been awesome having you on. And Jose,
Yeah, man.
he put a thing in here. He wants you to get a hold of him on Twitter. I have a
Okay.
feeling I know what it's about.
Oh, Lord.
But yeah, we're just gonna
Okay.
want you on the show more, man. You've been absolutely wonderful.
brilliant.
It's been great having you on, dude. And so
I get fired up
hopefully-
sometimes.
Yeah,
Nice
we love
jacket
it,
as
man.
well.
I love it.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. I'm
absolutely.
kind of.
looks warm as
I'm-
shit right now.
I'm in a dude. Yes, I should not have worn this jacket. I had to turn the AC on while we were talking because it's 60 degrees outside.
Oh Christ! Yeah.
Did not
It's good
expect
that-
this.
That temperature swing
my
is
God.
wild, huh? Yeah,
Dude,
man.
where I live, there's a saying: if you don't like the weather in Arkansas, wait 5 minutes. Because this
That's
morning when I took
Indiana is the same way, bro. Yeah.
Dude, when I took the boys to school this morning, it was 20. This is Fahrenheit, y'all. So when I took the boys to school this morning, it was 28 degrees.
Yeah. Oh,
I ran a
God.
couple errands and now it's fucking 60.
Oh,
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
I'm bundled up, like look like an idiot. About to walk into Academy going like, buying them some sports gear. So whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Well, dude.
I'll hit you up, Jose. Hermano.
Perfect.
¿Cómo
perfect.
estás?
This is-
Bien? ¿Y tú?
¿Cómo estás?
This is good. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Well, guys, okay. I hate to have to end so abruptly, but I didn't want to end what was an awesome conversation.
Fine, Colin.
So guys,
All good things
last-
come to an
Lo
end.
siento, gracias.
any last words? Anybody to the fans? Anybody out there watching? To Spurs fans all over the world? Any
I
last
just
words?
want to pick up my girl Kate, who got to 1,000 subscribers
Boom!
today.
Big up,
So
Kate.
brilliant.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
Kate, right on.
Big up to
I actually
Leo
have that
as well.
link. I'll throw that link in there. Yeah.
Mia's going
Congrats,
everybody.
yeah.
a good fair amount as well. She's got over 1,200, nearly 1,300. And she might have even reached 1,300 as we speak. So, yeah, the girls are doing really well, and we can talk ball. We can talk
Yeah.
ball.
Oh no, I
Exactly.
love their content. It's great. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And guys, in Ange we trust. Come on, you Spurs, and bring on Brentford. Let's put this Jesus Christ. Let's put this city match behind us and look forward.
Yes.
On to the
Bring
next.
on Brentford. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so we'll end it with the James Madison song, and then
Yay.
hey, everybody, stick around for just 2 seconds after that. All right.
Come on, you
No
Spurs.
worries.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
My team has got James Madison. James Madison is what we need. Whoa, thank God we got James Madison. This kid plays ball like you would never believe. Whoa.